Okay, well, I've gone ahead and buttoned everything up from my last video working on those shifters. Let me show you this real quick. Excuse my bobbling camera. Putting it on my head, helmet cam. Alright, so I got these the shifters are installed, cables are all installed. I've fed the cables through this clamping screw, clamped them off. What I do here though is when you loosen up this cable, this brake's going to open up because of the spring right here. So you squeeze it, you run it through, and you clamp it tight. But before you do that, you release this screw, get it to its top setting. And this piece here also tightens and loosens too, and you want this in a tighter setting because it goes up and down like this. And what that does is it loosens up the grip of the pads. So that's like on the fly, if you need to readjust your brakes, you got too much grip, bam, you can do some adjustment there. Then I trimmed the cables. Did the same thing with the derailleurs. I got the derailleurs into the clamping screw and got it all trimmed off. Now what I did also with the derailleurs is I made sure that the shifters were in the same position that the derailleur likes to sit naturally. This derailleur likes to sit on the inner chainring naturally because of the spring that's in there. So I made sure that this was in the lower setting for the inner chainring, the shifter, and then I clamped the screw down. And if nothing else is wrong, if you do that part right, there shouldn't be any. If the bike was in tune beforehand, there shouldn't be any adjustment. If anything, maybe some minimal adjustment. Same thing with the back brakes. You want this screw all the way up, get them to where you want them to go, because you want your brakes to grab. Nice. Now, if I get out on the road, and because I like my brakes to drag instead of grabbing and skidding my tire, you don't want to get any skids on there because you'll get flat spots. Then I'll do some adjustment here and with this other piece down here for the brakes to loosen them up a little bit. Back derailleur, same thing. Pull this all the way out so that it's in its higher setting. So you have some fine tuning there. Clamp the cable in place, cut it off, and if everything works out good, you put this derailleur is naturally going to come down into its lower gear because of the spring that's in there. So if you line up the shifter with that gear, then you should be good. Get that cable nice and tight so that you don't have any real play in there. There's a little bit of play in that one. I might have to do some adjustment right here, but that's okay. So then, see, I got the bike on a trainer. That way I can do my first ride on the trainer and make sure that everything's working good. So I'm going to start shifting the new shifter on the back, and as you see, it's going through the gears, and it doesn't go off the top. There's no clack 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 noise. It is jumping gears a little bit. That's some fine tuning adjustment. That's all that is. And that's that. That one's good. This one here also, it's good. It's not going off the top. It's not derailing, all the way off. And goes to the top gear. And then it goes back down. Nice and good to go. Well, see, I think I got some fine tuning that I have to do there. You could do the fine tuning with these screws right here. So you fine tune with these screws, and I'll show you that real quick. Get a screwdriver. So we noticed that chain almost wanted to come off. So you go to the high and the low. There's a little H and a little L there. This one should, if I screw it down, or No, I'm sorry. If I screw it to the left, I'm thinking to the right moves that derailleur ever so slightly. So now, shouldn't have that problem again. Down. Perfect. See, just a tiny little fine tuning is all I needed to do with that. Okay. Very nice. I love this bike because it shifts wonderfully. I guess that's, you know, a benefit of these more expensive bikes. Is you get more fluidity in the gears, and look how nice that wheel spins. I mean, it goes forever. It's awesome. Well, that's it, folks. This bike is ready for its 62-mile ride that is going on Saturday. Hope you enjoyed everything I had to show you. I hope you got some benefit out of it. I hope it helped you. And hope I see you out there riding. And until the next video, happy biking.